What's up, everybody? It is JOSHTHEJSYSTEM here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of WWE Supercard. Today, we got something special planned. It is the campaign. We're going to be tackling that today, see how far we get, and see what fate has in store for us. I have not done any bit of the campaign, so a lot of people have. They've been telling me that it's a bit of a minefield as you get further along. As you can see that there are 3 sets to the campaign, and apparently you have to get a certain amount of stars to get to pro. As you can see, I've been doing that. I'm doing that just so you guys get a good idea. So as you can see, there are a plethora of cards. Every week, League has as far as I know, I don't know if this is going to continue, but League has cards that are available to us. We get stuff from the Supercard store, which comes from wwesupercard.com, which you sometimes get for daily street cards. So sometimes I will be getting stuff from there, and we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, this is going to be very simple. Of the first little bit's going to be easy of what I get. I'm not really expecting to get a whole lot. Trish is probably the one I'm kind of hoping just to dominate on and just get a whole lot done with her. But this is going to be a relatively the early starts of campaign are very relatively easy, as you can see. But as time goes on, you're going to start to see it more or less that stuff starts getting a little bit rowdy. Like, even though I have all these powerhouse cards now, at certain points it only allows you to use certain direction arrows, so it makes it a little more challenging when you only can use up arrow cards, and then it turns out you don't have that particular up arrow card. um it's its direction doesn't come out the way you want, so now you're like, oh, now I need an up arrow with high charisma, but I don't have that, so now I gotta work some things around that. So sometimes it comes down to, oh, I need special editions, or I need limited editions or legendary editions, whichever you want to go with. The wording, I think it just comes out where you just need to get as much done as possible. So early on, you want to get as much done of campaign as possible. I've given the first week to kind of balance out, find out what everything has been about, because this part of campaign is going to be a little bit more challenging. From what I've heard, there is supposedly 2 cards, but I could be mistaken. It could just be another fact of something else in the store that's limited edition. So we'll see. As you see, I'm just like kind of blitzing it, but it's, as I said, it's pretty much like pretty simple to take out. Once you start getting to the, like, it's usually around like level 40 and higher is when things start getting more difficult. Hopefully by then, though, at least I'll have certain void cards or even ignition cards that will be able to handle handle the flow, so to speak. Once we get to that point, it'll be easy come, easy go with that. And every 7 matches, you face I guess you can say a boss. So you get to the ring, you face a boss, you face this boss, and you face that boss. Um, Depending on their strength or whatever character they are. Like I said, this is gonna be easy. This isn't really on boss, so it's gonna Rusev's not gonna be that much of a challenge. And as stated in my introduction video to the game, any losses I take will be accumulated onto my loss counter. There will be a few extra videos uploaded. Probably by the time this video is up, you should have a couple of my VOD videos up. So those will be just, you're getting those unedited, uncut. So when you see them, those are just, they're going to be labeled by dates, so you won't have to worry about trying to follow along based on, oh, well, what the, in case somebody's like worried, like, oh, when did these come out? Which one do I watch first? You won't have to worry. They're going to be labeled by date. The videos are going to be labeled that way just to make it easier for everybody to follow along. And that's how those will be labeled. And then obviously every upload will bring more fun. I imagine my loss count will be higher and higher every video until we hit the new month, which when that happens, and I'm also leaving it out there for this, because I do this on my Twitch. I will leave this open to be done through my comments. So for comments, if throughout the week, we'll say throughout the week, you guys can vote in the comment section. I'll leave it out there of what cards, what you want my champion to be, what you want my card back to be, and I will be paying attention. I'll comment back on at the end of the week of who won, if any votes are actually casted at all, but that's up to you guys if you guys want to vote. Usually it does happen I usually do it on my Twitch, but here, because it's a little different, we're going to do it a little differently and make it a little more fun. Let you guys decide. First one's pretty much a nobody card, so, well, Ludwig Kaiser, but still. Left and right arrows now. That's fine because Sami Zayn and Jacob are both cards I am trying to get pro'd and boosted, so it's probably not the Sami I'm currently working on, so. And the first Trish I always click is the one that is currently not in the Performance Center. I don't know if I touched on the Performance Center, so I will touch on it in this video just so we're all on the same page with this. So there's a few things that I've already mentioned that people might be already confused. I almost forgot I got to do this now. So, got that taken care of. So, the first thing I probably mentioned was the Performance Center. I don't know if I touched on it in my introduction video. The Performance Center is where you can train your cards. You can throw them in to be trained. There's 3 free select sections that you can use, and then after that, you have to use credits to pay for the other sections, such as this one's for your matches, this one's for level, and obviously this one's for variants. So mostly just for the matches, I try to use the other card. If I'm working on one card's matches, I'll take the other, its counterpart, which is the second card that I'm going to be proing, work on its matches, so possibly by the time this card is done, the other card will be done. So that way it'll come out of the Performance Center, boom, I can pro it, nice and easy. Now, when it comes to leveling up cards, I don't really throw superstars in here. I usually throw support cards in just because that's it. Once the support cards reach level 100 twice, you get one that hits 100, then you get a second one that reaches 100, you can pro it. There's no matches required, so it's kind of very nice and easy there. The variant, just like I said, is its abilities. Like I know I touched on the abilities in the first video. The variants, I usually, if it's me, I would usually say take your card that you've already pro'd and put it in there beforehand. I shouldn't say beforehand. Take the card you have pro'd. So if you finish the card off, you've pro'd him. Throw him in there so his variant gets done, because now this is the time when you want to work on the variant. The variant, you shouldn't even care about the variant unless it just happens by chance of whatever you're working on. So if ability is his variant, chances are ability is just going to get worked on. If power, toughness, speed, charisma are its variant, chances are they're going to be done by the time you finish your cards before you even pro. I usually use Rumble, so if Rumble is the variant, chances are Rumble's going to be done. If it's Money in the Bank or Elimination Chamber or War or even Wild, that can be debatable as to whether or not I would say to do so. Only reason I would say that is because if you're willing to work on it, I would say, okay, I throw extra work on it. So like if I'm doing that, I would say, like right now there's extra draft picks involved in it, but I would say, let's say Ethan Page is the pro and I've got him done. His variant, let's just say his variant is, even though his variant is speed, let's say his variant is wild. So now I would have 3 other cards I would work on around him. On top of that, the females as well. So this way here, even though I'm working on it to get those wins, the other cards I can also work on to get their matches done too. And you don't have to win the match outright with that variant. You just need to win his match. So there's that. What else did I touch? I think that's pretty much it when it comes to that stuff. So let's clear our draft board real quick. Gotta say, I probably should have saw that coming. So kind of get a pretty good idea of what I'm doing now. I'm just going to lock you 4 because just train as many cards as possible, and then there's hope. Keyword is hope unless that's your name, in which case that's not what I'm referencing here. So I'm referencing just hoping that I don't run out of card room too soon. So I've mentioned the that's what it was. So I've mentioned my champion, which I'm going to change now myself because I kind of want to into whoever I decide to. Because honestly, the who do I want to give it to? The fact that I have him in two separate two separate tiers. Oh my goodness, I was kind of worried he'd be in this tier too. Not McIntyre. Where is he? Yeah. Setting Smash and so that's what it means when setting a champion. So you can just say a wrestler's, you can basically say any random wrestler's name and then just try to call out a certain tier, just look up the tier list yourself and then just see if they're in that tier list and then go from there. We are headed to that time of year. So, debating if that's what I want to do. Let's make it 4. Well, let's see if we can find one that fits. We have a gift box. No, we are headed towards. We are headed toward Thanksgiving. We are in that festive time. Let's. I'm feeling the turkey, even though it's from 2018. And then, so yeah, I may put up if somebody does ask the question, if somebody does vote and gives me a name, I might go, okay, here are the lists of the tiers. Which one would you like to see? And stuff like that. So there is that look forward. There is that kind of realize that I'm trying. I give you guys the most interactive if I can be. You should be at least halfway. Sweet. Big Bad Jacob is already halfway. Do I expect to, in one straight video, to dominate and get all the way to the end? No, I do not. If I were to be completely honest, I would look at anyone and say, I'd say I might get through 2, maybe 3. At least in this one alone. Like I said, there will be more put together. Day by day, I'm going to try to do as many as I can because that's going to be the go-to for the start. I'm going to go as fast as I can. but this won't be the only thing I'm doing. As time goes on with each episode, we're going to do different things, so I'm not making it just about campaign. But for the most part, we're gonna tackle campaign so we can see. So we'll see how far we get, and then we'll go from there. So while I'm doing this, I'll ask you guys in the comments. You can leave this as your comment. What's your favorite tier? Or even, what was your favorite superstar and what tier was he in? So what image did you like of your favorite superstar from which tier? Me personally, I think you guys can already probably guess some of my favorite is Undertaker. He's had quite a few good ones. He's had I've liked the biker taker. That's kind of always been one of my favorites. When he went back to Dead Man, that was good. So some of the cards did reflect that. When they did the zombies to make him Zombie Taker, that was great. Would have been nice if I would have been able to get a pro of that, but I never did. So yeah, the zombie cards were good. Um, Demolition, I've always liked Demolition, so those when we got them in. I didn't care for Demolition Crush's image in Eon, since he's only had 2 iterations of his Demolition look for Crush. I will say his Void image was hands down 100 times better, because for some reason his Eon one just focused so much on his, like, it looked like you were focusing so much on the lips, and it threw me off. I just did not like it. um Axe and Smash, I get why they looked the way they did in that in their iterations of Eon. They were going a lot of the cards, they were going for old school looks. So they were kind of going for their older looks. So Axe and Smash's older look was definitely what they were doing there. Thankfully, I had gotten their Void, or not Void, Valor fusions to assist with that problem. Um, so those were good. I will say some cards that were fantastically done in the past have been the Titan Titans. Those were fabulous cards that they did. Let's see. The tarot cards are actually really well done too. They were beautifully done, and then the Halloween Havoc cards were beautiful too. I mean, it was a blockbuster of cards that they were able to give us that were just so good. The designs were good. For the most part, we got different superstars. For the most part, I mean, Asuka came through on a few. So like Tights and Titans, we had Asuka, and then the Tarot, we had Asuka, but that was like a few tiers apart. So it's not like I'm saying that they were back to back tiers, but the first iteration of the Tarot event was actually the Street Fighter event, which was wasn't handled right. It was, but it wasn't. It was done the right way. It gave you everything we needed. The problem is that they made it too much reliant on needing more bouts, and I felt like they could have doubled the bouts or done something that could have given you more bout opportunities instead of requiring you to just draw them off the draft board or pull them off the free packs. That's kind of what they were doing with that. So then they did Dungeons and Dropkicks, expanded on it. They got rid of the car, which was fine, but the problem with that was that they were relying too heavily on the money aspect to it, and it became a bigger problem there. They fixed it by the time we got to the Tarot event, because I felt like we didn't need so much to spend, as much as you just needed to just play the right way. And holding out till you had the 24 times seemed like the right move. That's a good start. All right. So that is going to do it for today's video. I hope everyone enjoys it. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that hype button if you wouldn't mind, to try to get this video to blow up, to get us more exposure than we already have. But not like that. So I will see you guys in the next episode. This is JOSHTHEJSYSTEM signing out. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.